I recently had the wonderful opportunity to sit down and talk with Dennis and Kay Itami, AIM's co-owners who started it all. If you haven't heard their story, sit tight and watch this. Let's just talk for a little while because you two are the cutest little thing on that couch right there. You are, you little lovebirds.
Wow, you're just trying to kiss up.
No, I'm not. Would you guys agree? Aren't they just the cutest? And I love that this comes from your house because it represents you. So, you know, because you guys have really been on an incredible journey. It was some 40 years ago that you made a life-changing career decision. Very sensitive story here, but we asked, will you please share that with us today?
Well, Dennis started farming with 80 acres, and he was 15 years old. He was a junior at Nampa High School, and he increased the acreage quite a bit amount, and about 300 acres, I think it was, by the time we were married. And then we had our 2 children. John was firstborn, and 13 months later, Jeff was our lastborn. We had 2 children. Then in 1977, our family was selected by the state to be Idaho Farm Family of the Year. 3 years later, 1980, Dennis had the opportunity given to him to farm 3,500 acres. It was intense row crop, all irrigated. And he was busy. Then July 30th, 1981 came, and Dennis received a phone call that the boys were in an accident. Changed our lives. They didn't survive, either one of them. And it really took it all out of Dennis to keep going, but he had to because of the crops. It was in harvest season, and yeah.
I'm so sorry, Kay and Dennis. Thank you for sharing with that. It must have really made you want to give up hope in farming and going forward. So tell us, how'd you keep going?
Well, people were good to us, but we did have to refocus because our life was changed in a moment.
What did you do?
Well, for Dennis, it was pretty well routine things, and he would come and get me for the day, and we would go out. I would just be in the vehicle. But an acquaintance of ours, Jim Kling, brought a product to us in November of 81, and it was a product from Japan called Barley Green. Dennis stayed in contact with Jim quite a bit, and we met others who were taking the product as well. And in late March of 1982, Dennis was out unhooking the sugar beet planter from the tractor, and he had to be under the equipment. And the phone in his truck rang. So he climbed out from under the equipment, and it was Carolyn Kling, Jim's wife. And she said, Jim bought 2 airplane tickets to go to San Francisco and then on to LA for the following morning. The flight from Boise to San Francisco was commercial, and from San Francisco to LA was private. So he hung up the phone. They just had a short conversation, and he started to get back to his job of finishing up the tractor situation. He realized that Carolyn wasn't saying what it was about. He assumed it was something about this product from Japan, but he didn't know. So he called her back, and she just gave a delightful answer and said, Jim will tell you on the airplane on your trip. So he finished his day up, and he did tell Carolyn that he's ready for a break. He's done with the 600 acres of planting the sugar beets, and it's a good time to go. So it all worked out really good.
This is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. So everybody stay tuned because I did a little research here. And from what you're talking about, Kay, I must ask you. I understand Mr. Kling had made failed attempts to achieve a license from that Japan company. So what happened next?
Well, I'll pass that to Dennis. He was directly involved.
Well, Jim decided to bring me down there, and it took 2 trips to LA to the importers, and they licensed us, the green powder that was extracted from the green juice from the young leaves of the barley. And so we incorporated right away in April of, 1982. And so AIM was born at that time. And so it really impressed both of us that in 2 short trips, after Jim had tried so long, that we actually got it, the license.
How did that change your lives?
Giving thought, AIM was incorporated 9 months after our children's death. Jeff was 11 and John was 12, and it happened in the barley seed grain. Yet, it was the green barley leaf juice powder that brought us on a new journey for Dennis and my life.
We're in the early days,
Yeah.
and like anybody, you have to be struggling a little bit, hadn't you?
Right.
Or did it just take off?
Well, as a young startup company, we didn't have a large line of credit, but we needed new capital investment to help finance the big growth. We were rapidly growing with all these people that were waiting, more or less. So Ron Wright, who, by the way, has a fantastic, amazing testimony on the product, sold a couple of his real estate holdings to finance and help us out with the capital investment. So then he became an equal 50% co-partner in AIM. So that was a big deal, because if you don't have financing, as a new company, you can go out of business really fast. On those earlier years, all the cropping and manufacturing was all done in Japan. But as time and sales grew, I became sensitive about the quality and the volume, the growing volume. To solve those concerns, eventually, AIM invested in and developed its own much more advanced cold process technology, I guess would be said.
This was amazing. This was really a leap forward. So tell me about cold process.
Well, as we know, we cook or pasteurize our foods, most of our foods. Mm-hmm. Because why? To kill the bad guys, the germs,
bacteria.
Mold, bacteria, mildew, and such. But that heat also kills much of the goodness that nature had preserved in the leaves and the juice. So, on the other hand, with cold process, with AIM, the good guys, like the antioxidants and enzymes, are preserved alive in the product.
So that was really a revelation in moving the product forward and getting, as you say, the good guys, preserving them in that. What happened next?
Well, AIM's cold process was shared with a company that had the coldest spray dry process. So the result is that AIM's Barley Life is the highest quality, coldest process product in the world, and it's produced in America. Also, I should mention that over the years, we have also added highly nutritional plant-based products to AIM's line. Wow,
what a company. AIM is celebrating 40 years of person-to-person marketing. Mm-hmm. My congratulations, everybody at home, probably congratulating as well. You make families really feel the difference. You help them with being healthy. You help them with financial health as well. So congratulations on all of your high-quality products with AIM. What is going to happen next?
Well, the foundation and cornerstone of AIM is nutrition that works. So in the future, obviously, we would continue to have high-quality nutritional-based products in our line.
Fabulous. So how has the pandemic changed in the way that AIM is doing business worldwide?
Well, AIM is advancing into modern information technologies, along with social media and also improving the compensation plan. In other words, the commissions and the monies that AIM pays its members. We need to keep innovating into this area, not only for the current generations, but future generations.
Mm-hmm. And you're not going to leave anybody behind with these changes, are you? You've made sure of that.
A lot of companies, if not most, are restricting a lot of its members, thousands of distributors, because they are not able, or because of religious reasons, are not allowed to engage in certain information technologies like the internet. On the other hand, at AIM, we respect all members and all customers. So manual orders will and shall be taken either by call-in or mail-in services. Plus, we have a 24-hour service called Interactive Voice Response System.
That is wonderful. You must anticipate continued growth then.
Oh, yes. In fact, we're increasing the floor space of our warehouse and shipping department in order to accommodate the future growth of our AIM members.
Mm-hmm. You know, this has been very exciting to talk with you. Congratulations on 40 years with AIM. You two are absolutely marvelous. But I want to give you just a few seconds and ask you, do you have any final comments?
Well, yes. The future depends on what we do in the present. And that is why AIM will continue to invest and create life-changing opportunities for generations to come. Let's remember, you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Guess what? The best is yet to come.